What branched out into the American media and entertainment industry in the 80s has in recent years become a global phenomenon. B-boying, or breakdancing, is an art that is now celebrated in every part of the globe. Although countries from all over the world have risen in the scene, it is safe to say that in the new millennium, Asian b-boys rose to the top. In recent years, Asian countries like Japan, China, and Korea have hosted some of the largest international competitions, making them ideal hubs for b-boys around the world. But let's go back to the city where it all began. Is the global success and density of Asian b-boys reflected in the breaking scene in New York City, the most diverse city in America? Although it is no longer the largest b-boy scene in the world, New York scene is definitely the most diverse. Ever since the beginning in the Bronx, where it started with mostly blacks and Latinos. Soon, white people came into the scene, and most recently, Asian Americans.
I'm Chinese American.
I'm Chinese American.
Filipino American.
I'm Korean American. Korean American.
I'm Chinese.
South Korean. Chinese.
Compared to Los Angeles, though, the current New York b-boy scene surprisingly isn't dominated by Asians. That is not to say that Asian Americans aren't a force. There's just a wider range of ethnicities present in New York's finest crews. Now let's look into the origin of our Asian American b-boys.
Well, my family originally, they raised me in Chile, South America. And then when I was about 12 or 13, I came to the United States.
I guess my mom and dad, they met and then they decided to move out of Hong Kong to come to America. After they graduated from college, they went to a nursing college. So they're, typical Filipino stories. Both became nurses and immigrated to the U.S. About 25 years ago.
Actually, my grandparents moved here back in the 1950s, so I'm the second generation born here. Both me and my brother are b-boys, and we both grew up in New York just like our parents.
Now let's examine the reasons for their migration to America.
My mom moved here for business purposes. She thought she could seek a better opportunity in America than China.
For supposedly a better education.
I guess, almost every Asian family, they want to move to a better country, looking for pursuing their dreams, raising their kids in a better environment.
Ah yes, the American dream. A common driving factor that Asian Americans, as well as other minority groups, have adopted.
I lived in New York at the time. I was about 6, 7. I watched wrestling. I thought it was pretty cool. Booker T was Rooney, so I decided to pick it up 2005, and it was in August. I went to b-boy.org in Google, and back then there was no YouTube. So for 2 years, well, there was YouTube, but there was little videos. You know what I mean, like junior. So it was pretty hard.
Most of them started in high school just with each other because they saw video clips online.
There was actually this video game, Bust a Groove or Bust a Move, and then one of the characters' name was Keith. Press the buttons and he just does dance moves. So I followed it one day, and then one of my friends knew a little, do a helicopter, and after he taught me how to do it, I just fell in love.
It appears that technology and media serve as the largest resources in spreading the b-boy culture across youths.
So for me, it's a very different story. I really got into b-boying when I got to college, and in college I found a whole scene of Asian b-boys. At least 90% of the b-boys on campus were Asian, and then after I got with that group and I moved back to New York City after college, that's when I met the rest of them from the other schools.
Yeah, I discovered b-boy towards the end of my freshman year in college.
So I went to Stuyvesant High School, and what's pretty interesting about Sty is that it's about 50% Asian. So most of the breaking clubs there was comprised of Asians.
Yeah. I mean, my college is in Brooklyn, so I don't really go out, and I dorm in Brooklyn, so yeah, I mostly practice in my college, unless it's the weekends I go out to the city and practice.
At NYU, SBA, Columbia, and Cornell, the people who are on the executive board of the breakdancing clubs, they're all Asian Americans. Most of the people who come to the practices are Asian, so there's a lot of Asian people.
A lot, just because a lot of colleges provide really good resources. Like NYU, for example, almost every dorm has a dance studio with mirrors, which are rare.
So college, I think, is very different from the rest of the world in that Asians are more of a minority. So where I went to school, I think hip hop is generally associated with minorities, and Asians were the biggest minority group in college. So I think that's how that started there.
NYU sometimes hosts Grape Cues, the yearly event. It's collegiate battles and also crew battles. At Columbia, we have an event called Raucous. We showcase hip-hop, but there's also a breakdancing event where we invite local crews, and it's a one-on-one battle.
Nowadays, universities and colleges are getting more involved in promoting the b-boy scene. Despite the large population of Asian students b-boying, how many Asian b-boys are really involved in the local New York scene?
It seems like there's a lot of Korean b-boys in New York, because a lot of like Korea, they have a lot of b-boys over there, a lot of nasty b-boys, and a lot of the Korean Americans pick up on that also.
I would say there's a growing amount. It's the new generation of b-boys. There's a lot of Asian Americans. Our crew is full of Asian Americans, basically.
What does it mean to be an Asian b-boy? What are the implications?
I think we all saw that there was a strong Filipino influence out on the West Coast, and I guess it's kind of easy to identify with other Asian b-boying. And it's not that it may have attracted people, but it made Asians more comfortable dancing.
Probably like back when Korea mostly exploded on the scene, because that was the first Asian crew to explode on the scene. So as in Asians in general, like Korea really hit it big. Then came Taiwan and then China.
Oh, because I live in America and I'm Korean, a lot of people expect power, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta keep up, balance everything, you know what I'm saying? So that's it.
So as we can see, Asian b-boys tend to experience a lot of pressure from the stereotypes forced onto them because of the international scene as a whole. But as the number of Asian b-boys increases in the community, bringing in different styles, the identity of being an Asian American b-boy becomes deeper and more complex.